Okay, so here's a new article about AI. Came out about 15 minutes ago. So here, Stack AI wants to make it easier to build AI-fueled workflows. Stack AI's co-founders, I'm gonna mess up the name, Antoni Rosano and Bernardo Aceituno were PhD students at MIT, wrapping up their degrees in 2022, just as large language models were becoming more mainstream. ChatGPT would be released to the world at the end of the year, but even before that, they recognized a problem inside companies putting data together with models without a lot of expertise and knowledge, and they wanted to change that. After graduating, they moved to San Francisco and joined the Winter 23 cohort at Y Combinator, where they launched Stack and refined their idea. Today, the company has built a low-code workflow automation tool designed to help companies build AI-driven workflows, including chatbots and AI assistants, for example. The company has raised $3 million so far. Here they're quoted, "Our platform allows people to build workflows that require connecting different tools to work together. We focus on connecting data sources and LLMs, since doing so allows you to build powerful workflow automations. We also offer many other tools and functions to automate complex business processes." Asutino told TechCrunch, there are people who hosted this article, which you can find this article on there. They've only had a working product for 6 months, but already report over 200 customers using the product. Essentially, that involves dragging components to a workflow canvas that typically includes a data source such as Google Drive and an LLM along with other workflow components, such as a trigger component or an action component to build the workflow, allowing the customer to create generative AI programs without a lot of coding. The coding itself is not AI driven, but the tasks in the workflow often are and could require some manual coding to make the workflow work smoothly. Some of their earliest customers are in the healthcare industry, and Asutino acknowledges they have to be careful with applications involving doctors and patients, especially when internal data sources aren't always reliable or could contain contradictory or obsolete information. In those cases, he says it's important to rely on the human expert, the doctor, to make the call on the quality of the answer. As another level of protection, they could include source citations in every answer, so the healthcare professional can check the source before accepting the answer. That being said, it's true that you can put garbage in, and then the citations will also be garbage, and that's why it's required that these assistants don't take over the process completely, he said. Coming right from MIT and launching a startup, Rosenol says going to YC really helped them understand the business side of things and how to refine their startup idea by working with customers. We started with an initial version of this API, which was much more developer focused, and we started with a few clients with an idea that we wanted to use AI to automate RFP responses to automate sales. And by working with customers, it became very apparent the true challenge was not in training a model, but rather in effectively querying and connecting data sources to these language models. The company currently has 6 employees, but it is hiring engineers and sales and marketing pros. $3 million investment closed about a year ago. Investors include Gradient Ventures, Beat Ventures, and True Capital, along with Lambda Labs. Y Combinator, Soma Capital, and Epicon Capital are also involved. So essentially, they're making an entire system that can essentially take over a business. So your entire business could just be a computer of the scale, and it just spits out anything you want. It could automate everything. So if it makes things easier, that means there's a lot of people who are just not going to have any more jobs. They're just not going to be, they're going to be redundant. If you have a machine that's like not taking sick days, and that's also much more efficient, much more accurate, and also consistently delivers, they're going to choose the AI, obviously because it's a one-off investment, and then you can essentially just have an entire business just working out by itself, which is quite intense. That's That's pretty scary. Right now, they're essentially saying that doctors don't have to worry; they're not going to be obsolete just yet. We need them to give the citations and the correct information, obviously. But you're only going to be on standby for so long before, essentially, the machine has every single procedure, every single point and data point available for it to do its job, to do any job, to do the job of doctors. You know, you just go in, you put all your symptoms down, or it asks you a series of questions. It looks at your, you probably have a camera or whatever connected to the system, and you can see everything, your symptoms, what you look like, your blood markers maybe connected to it. And then from there, it just gives you the exact medication on time. So you could be looking at a whole new industry gone overnight. That's just the medical field, because of this. And this came out like 15 minutes ago. So obviously, every business has an end game. So obviously, if you're looking at private health, they're going to make it essentially more of a business, and that's the entire end goal of business is profit. So obviously, if you can cut out your employees and have the entire customer base still retained, they're going to do it. So essentially, if you are in the doctor and private health field, it might be coming for you soon. So definitely look into this. It's something to be aware of. I don't think it's something, a lot of people might tell you not to panic, which is correct, but obviously just be aware of this stuff, because obviously, let's say you're a doctor and you also have quite a good few tech skills involved, you're going to be really a really good candidate for different ventures that are related to you, you know, because I don't see why not you could essentially be an online doctor, which is, looks like the way it's going, since everyone's going to be remote, and with the way the whole bird flu nonsense is going, it might be something that they're looking for towards in a few months, few years. It might be the new normal to just have a doctor online. I mean, they did it during COVID. You had online doctors. It wasn't as refined, but obviously with this tech involved, you could see a huge surge in that, especially if there's a new pandemic coming around. But yeah, that's just something that debuted 15 minutes ago. There you go. Alright guys, I will keep you up to date with the latest stuff, latest AI news coming out. See you soon, and take care of yourselves.